Hey people, it is Wednesday, April the 7th, and it is 9:25 in the morning. And I'm standing here at the corner of Carlton Street and Sherbourne Street, right by Allen Gardens. And this neighborhood is called the Garden District, named after Allen Gardens Conservatory, which is just right over there. And for today's walk, I'm going to walk the perimeter of the Garden District, which is the neighborhood I live in on the east side of downtown. And as far as I know, I've never done a walk walking the perimeter of my neighborhood before. And I'll be following the boundaries that I saw laid out for the neighborhood on Google Maps, which has it as Carlton Street on the north, Sherbourne on the east, Queen Street on the south, and Yonge Street on the west. So I'll be walking basically a giant square. And I think it's around 7 degrees Celsius right now. It's supposed to get up to 13 or so today. So I'm currently walking south on Sherbourne Street, here on the eastern boundary of the Garden District. There's a look at the Allen Gardens Conservatory through the trees. And I live just a little ways over there. So I'm basically in the kind of northeastern corner of the Garden District. And I'm pretty sure I've never shot a video at this time before. I know I've shot videos really early in the morning, like 6:30 in the morning. And I've shot videos, lots of them, starting around 11 in the morning, but never, I think, 9:30 or so. So once you cross Sherbourne going east, the neighborhood changes to Cabbagetown. Let's another look at the park. So now we're at Sherbourne and Gerrard Street East. And looking west, Yonge Street is several blocks up ahead that way, and I'll be making my way over there eventually. I was actually a bit surprised to see the boundaries laid out with Yonge Street as the western boundary of the neighborhood. Never really thought of Yonge Street as being bordering on the Garden District, but I suppose it is if I'm to believe what Google Maps says. And you can actually see my apartment building behind those trees straight ahead. I believe this vacant lot will eventually be developed. Right now I'm walking past the house that Kenny and Spenny lived in on their show, Kenny versus Spenny. So there we go. That's the old Kenny versus Spenny house. I can look down on this from my apartment window. There's the Sherbourne bus. I've heard some interesting stories about some of the characters that you would encounter if you're a regular rider of that bus. I never ride it since it's basically where I live and I have no need to. I just walk everywhere. And Sherbourne Street itself also has a bit of a reputation. And not a good one, but obviously right now everything is perfectly pleasant and peaceful, as it is almost every time I walk down Sherbourne Street. See the occasional character and hear the occasional unpleasantness. And there's police here doing something, so things do happen here on Sherbourne Street. I mean, the reputation exists for a reason. And now we're coming up to Dundas. This is one of the two intersections in the area that are kind of regarded as being a bit dicey. Not too much happening around here right now. It's too early in the morning.
Nice work. Good.
And the other intersection is up ahead at Queen and Sherbourne. Now this lot, I believe, is slated for a new residential development of affordable housing. And I see another notice across the street, so looks like they're going to be infilling this plot of land as well with some new residential units. Here we have some Sherbourne pigeons. Look at this pimp daddy pigeon trying to put the moves on the lady pigeon. Look at him. Look at him strutting around. Or maybe he's just trying to steal her food. You do see that though. The male pigeon's kind of primping and preening, like this one right here. Look at him. He's putting out all the moves trying to impress that female pigeon. And she doesn't seem to care one bit. We're just crossing Shooter Street. This is the Moss Park apartments down there. And this is Moss Park itself. And there's a bit of overlap here because most people would refer to this neighborhood as Moss Park. But this still falls within the boundaries of the Garden District. Sort of like a sub-neighborhood. And there's the sketchy Dollarama. They probably have the most interesting clientele of any Dollarama store in the city. So here we are coming up to Queen and Sherbourne. So this is the southeastern corner of the neighborhood. It's looking east down Queen. So now we'll make our way west on Queen Street. Looking up into Moss Park again. The grass is gradually greening up here. See that huge cluster of new towers there. Most of those were not there 5 years ago. I think one of them was. The rest are all brand new. That's looking down George Street. I think south of Queen Street, the neighborhood is referred to as the St. Lawrence neighborhood. Alright, so now we're at Jarvis Street. Got a nice stretch of historical buildings on this part of Queen Street here. And right across the street we have this massive new construction site. I think a new 50-story residential building and some commercial retail will be included. And that is replacing what was one of the largest remaining parking lots in the city, in the downtown core. So it's nice to see another parking lot bite the dust. I suppose some people who drive into the core don't feel the same way, but I think cities are for people and not for cars. I'm just crossing Church Street. There's Pawn Shop Row right here along Church.
How are you?
There's the Metropolitan United Church. (1870). That's quite an old church, for sure. Seems strange to me that this is still considered the Garden District, at least up that way. And there's the 501 Queen. That's only going as far as McCall. And crossing Victoria Street. So we're really coming into the heart of downtown now.
Later, David.
There's rumblings of a new stay-at-home order possibly being issued again. I think an announcement is imminent, and that might also entail non-essential stores being limited to curbside pickup and delivery again, online delivery. So we'll see what happens with that. So now we're here at Yonge and Queen. So now we're at the western boundary of the Garden District here, the southwest corner of the neighborhood. If Google Maps is to be believed. Maybe the Toronto official city website has a different boundary. I think it probably might. So now we're heading north on Yonge Street. Yonge Street is pretty quiet at this time of the morning. Just crossing Shooter Street again. So this is the western boundary of the neighborhood. Here's the Eaton Center. Of course, it's on the other side of Yonge Street, so it's not in the Garden District. Here's the Ed Mervish Theatre. It's been dormant since the initial lockdown over a year ago. Their production of Hamilton is just sort of suspended in time. And here we are at Dundas Square. Which does fall into the boundaries of the Garden District. So when I say Dundas Square is my neighborhood, I am being factual. This is Ken Continuum territory right here. But only this side. Light turned red, so I'm just going to hang back so I don't get too close to that music playing over there. Doesn't sound like something that might get a copyright claim, but you can never be too careful. There's the Dundas streetcar. Okay, now I can go. We have a dancing man right here. Fluorescent shoes and shirt. Of course, he's playing something that might result in a copyright claim, so I'll just keep on talking. You dance, dancing man, you dance. You dance it up, dancing man. Dance it up, dance it up. That's right. Here's the Ryerson University Student Learning Center. And that's looking into the Ryerson campus. We got a loose cannon coming our way.
Never hide him.
And here's the Zanzibar Strip Club. That is a local landmark. And here's the giant pit where they began building a new 85-story condo building. And then the development company went under. And now it sits dormant, waiting for a new developer to take over the project. I heard rumors that there might be a new developer that will be taking over, but nothing official yet. And hopefully they don't change the design, because I quite like the design that was approved. And the height also. If they want to make it taller, that's okay with me, but please don't chop it down. So now here we are at Gerrard and Yonge. And there's the Aura condominium. This new building, if it's built at its approved height and current design, will be taller than the Aura here. It's looking east down Gerrard. I'm just passing by College Park. Okay, now here's Carlton Street. So this is the northwestern corner of the Garden District neighborhood. So now we will begin the last leg of the giant square. So we're heading east on Carlton Street. And I believe the north side of Carlton Street is the southern boundary of the Church Wellesley neighborhood. I always thought this was a cool view here of the aura. There's the Carlton Cinema. They've been closed forever. Hopefully they reopen one day. It was a good place to go and see movies for a discounted price compared to the big chain theaters. And there is the Maple Leaf Gardens, former NHL hockey arena. Now the site of a very big fancy Loblaws grocery store. But there still is an arena in the building. Smaller arena, obviously, for Ryerson University. The Matami Athletic Center. And you might have seen me in some previous videos stop here quite often because I'll often plan my videos to end around here, after which I will head into the Loblaws and get some frozen pizzas and yogurt. There's crossing Church Street. So as I mentioned, north of Carlton is Church Wellesley. It's looking up into the Church Street corridor through the village. And looking south down Church. Oh, and here is Oasis Aqua Lounge, which is a sex club. And the Golden Diner family restaurant. Wonder if their business increased after the Golden Griddle up the street closed down. So here we are at Jarvis Street. And we are just about at the end of the giant square around the perimeter of the garden district. And here we are passing by Allen Gardens again. And a better look at the conservatory. It's filled with plants from all parts of the world. It feels like a tropical garden inside there. Little B supermarket. You know, I've lived in this neighborhood for over 10 years and I think I've only been inside there one time. I think I just remember finding the items to be a little bit more expensive than at the large grocery stores. Even the grocery store chains that are known to be on the pricey side, such as Metro and Loblaws. But I hope that place does well and gets lots of business from locals. There's a nice shot of the CN Tower popping out there between the trees and buildings. Unfortunately, from my apartment, I can't see the CN Tower because my view is looking in the opposite direction. But I still have a pretty good view. You can see a lot of tall buildings and big city vistas. And a whole lot of pigeons. There's another Pimp Daddy pigeon putting the moves on the lady pigeon, and she does not seem very interested again. Do a spin, do a spin. Sometimes they do a spin. That's when they're pulling out all their best moves. And here we are, back at the corner of Carlton and Sherbourne. So that's it. I've walked the full perimeter of the garden district. So if you enjoyed this walk around my neighborhood, literally around my neighborhood, or more like a square, not really a circle, but still. If you enjoyed this, by all means, subscribe, like and share and comment and tell your friends and your family. And be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there's a link in the description where you can do so via PayPal. And you can also find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.